Yeah, I do.
I don't give a fuck. I can talk a cat off the back of a fish truck.
It took me a while to actually realise it, but Danny Brown has proven himself to be one of the decade's standout rappers. Perhaps we should start considering it an all-time accolade. There has to be something said for the way that the Detroit native had simultaneously crafted an immaculate and versatile discography while battling a wounding drug addiction. Danny's music seemed to operate in extremes, presenting a hedonistic exhibition that he couldn't escape from, a state of mind higher than his yelps, and in this he also began to explore the role of an artist whose serious issues were becoming more and more akin to a mere theatre show, instead of what it really was, an indication of somebody who was crying out for help. In the years that have passed since Atrocity Exhibition, Danny has rubber-dub-dubbed himself clean, and feels as though he has come full circle, no longer needing to prove himself conceptually. For that reason, even though after Atrocity it seemed like he would be able to achieve anything, I would have still been fairly pleased if his next release was just cool bars over cool beats, and it was. There are wonderfully detailed beats that you could probably describe with an "ooh, this bit" every now and then, but there are also hazy, strange beats that I swear I'd already heard during the time I got food poisoning. For having some pretty abstract heavyweights like Piggy, Paul White, and standing on the corner at the production kiosk, the traditional heavyweight Q-Tip is there to balance it all out single-handedly, resulting in beats that aren't exactly off the goop but still hit with a little bit of bleating pizzazz. Some moments even sound feverish, make you need to wipe the sweat away with a tea towel. The sinister violins on Change Up made me nearly think the song was sampling the Streets theme from Ratatouille the video game for PS2. Dirty Laundry has a beautiful air of closure to it, sounds like it was written to accompany the climax of a murder mystery, where every horrific secret is becoming absolutely clear to the protagonist, which makes it strange to hear Danny instead take awkward pauses between punchlines like,
What's in the dark always come to light. Hair was nasty, you think she had headlights. Why try though bleaching your eye? Put your life on the line, hang 'em out to dry.
I don't know, some of these jokes are a little bit funny, but every one of them seems so isolated. It's like he's cracking a gag and getting no laughter after it. I mean, yes, he's essentially our cool uncle now, but he doesn't have to make jokes like one. The weirdest beats to me, and by that I mean my favourites, come from the tracks Belly of the Beast and Negro Spiritual. The former sounds like the backing track to a colonoscopy, which makes it more baffling that Danny barely sounds excited or perturbed. He delivers his lines like he's reading half-heartedly from an auto cue. Meanwhile, on Negro Spiritual, music nerds should immediately begin to recognise the frenetic bass line and conclude that this is the sorcery of Flying Lotus and Thundercat. It's the most frantic, urgent song on the album, to the point where Danny starts doing that frightening growl he does when he really wants you to know that you gon' get what you asked for.
You gon' get what you asked for. You gon' get what you asked for.
It takes a nice break in between verses with a swaggery hook from Pharrell. At least I thought it was Pharrell. I wasn't paying attention, I just thought, oh, nice, Pharrell contributing some good vocals for once, and then I checked, and then thought, fuck me, it's not even him, it's JPEG Mafia. Danny to me doesn't really hold himself down to any concept here. It seems like he just wants to spit punchlines, which is fine because punchlines have always been his forte, especially on his best tracks like Greatest Rapper Ever and Park Blood. I mean, scratch that, the entirety of Triple X. And sure, hearing him call you a Stevie Wonder Blink on this record is a funny one. There are plenty of lines that teeter on the edge of tastelessness, but not with any real malice behind them. He's essentially just shooting the shit. What better guests to shoot the shit with than RTJ themselves? Unfortunately, the punchlines on Dirty Laundry aren't an exception, they're a trendsetter. The rest of the album sports unspeakably lame lines that feel weird being out there in the open in broad daylight. This many years into his career, Danny's still rhyming things with the word penis. The song Shine is admirable for having a bit of drive kicking it into action. I could write a pedalo to that one, but once the rhythm slows down and Blood Orange waltzes in, singing in whispery italics, all I can think of is Mike Shinoda. This sounds like a song he would have made. That wouldn't be a bad thing, it just makes the song a little kitschy by design. And because Dev Hynes isn't the best singer out there, it does land a little bit awkwardly. Surprisingly, the old school tracks on this album are some of the most well laid down. They're uplifting, they make you happy for him. It features the second best hip hop song about living your best life, losing only to that one tune by Lil Duval. The flow of combat is so smooth and satisfying, it was heartwarming to hear Q-Tip and Consequence hop in to give the track a little bit of a sense of community.
It's a combat zone. Cut the lick real quick. Combat.
Get the bag, what you got.
It's a combat zone. Get the lick real quick. Combat.
Get the bag up and the swag up before.
You Know What I'm Saying is a fairly solid album, although the rundown is that it's just good, not anything above and beyond. Danny's punchlines aren't the greatest this time round either. They seem a little bit obvious really. Beef, vegetarian, ha, aha. At best they would make you do the little exhale, you know, pff. As such, I'd give this album a pff out of 10.